Good
Good
morning. I
morning.
think I finally got it right after like 3 months.
So we've been doing this for, I think this is 13 or 14 weeks in, and we just went live, I think, for the first time without an error.
All right.
You're good luck, Deborah. You're good
All
luck.
right.
It's
Hello,
that
everyone, and welcome.
sunny Mexico vibes down there that you're giving us up here in northern
Yes.
Alberta.
Yeah, I know.
That's it.
I'm
Awesome,
jealous.
awesome.
Well, welcome to Friday with Friends, everyone, with Jennifer and I, who you see all the time, of course. And our special guest today is Debra, and I am so excited. I don't think I've ever been so excited to meet somebody in our community as I am Debra. I love your energy. I love your story. And I'm so excited for today. So I am Charlene, and I am a homeschooling mom to six. And I have been in this business for almost 3 years, coming May. And I guess that's pretty much me in a nutshell. There's not much else to say. That's it. I got 6 kids, and that's life.
Me too. I have 6 kids.
Yay! And Jennifer?
I will be 4 years as a business owner in 5 days. And so
Yay!
I'm so excited. And of course, I'm in northern Alberta, Canada. Yeah,
How many years
and
in 5 days?
4 years.
It'll be 5 years for me in 5 days.
Oh
Oh,
my
that's so
gosh,
exciting. That's
February
awesome. Yeah,
5 years.
me too.
that is
That's so
so
exciting.
crazy.
We'll have to celebrate.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, that's really exciting. Yeah, so I'm in northern Alberta. I am a mom of two and a bonus son. So I have 3 kids, and I have four grandkids. Three bonus. One is one is mine, and they're so much fun. And what I love about this business is it's really given us the time to be able to spend the time with our kids and grandkids at at a moment's notice. We don't have to take a day off. So that's me in a nutshell. I'm a homeschooling mom for 2 years now. That's been a lot of fun. And just taking it day by day, living life. That's what we're here for, right? And I actually had the pleasure to meet Deborah 3 summers ago in Red Deer, Alberta.
Hmm.
And I cried because I felt like I met a celebrity. And then when I was
Everybody,
there listening when I was there listening to her story, I don't think there was a dry eye under that tent when she was sharing her story with us. So we'll let her dive into a little bit about herself, and as much as she wants to share with us about her journey, that's an open floor for her. And so take it away, Deborah.
okay. Well, I get a little bit more to add to my story now. But anyways, first of all, for you who don't know me, I am first and most a child of God. I am a mother of 6, a grandmother of 18, and a great grandmother of 6. I'm also a successful online business owner, and it's because I chose to live by faith and not fear. And I know that's a thing that I have said since I started this business, so it's something, but I had a lot of struggles. And Jennifer knows my struggles because she's heard my story from beginning to end. But in 2015, I lost my position of many years. And I wasn't really worried about it because I was really confident that I was going to get a job somewhere else. I had, 40 some years experience, and I wasn't going to, and I did my job. I did it well. I had great letters of recommendation, and I had to come to the realization that nobody wanted to hire anybody over the age of 60. Well, I got a great severance package, but it only lasted so long. So I thought, what am I going to do? I could go be a Walmart greeter, but that's not even going to buy my groceries because I'm a big eater. So, that won't work. Like, what am I going to do? I'm an accountant by trade, but nobody wants to hire anybody over the age of 60.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I started searching online, and I came up against, oh my gosh, there's a lot of stuff out there, but they're
Yeah.
scary. They're scary.
Yeah.
They want you to go
Yeah.
door to door selling products, and they want you to make sure that your mother, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your uncle, your next door neighbor's in the business, or you got to hate them, right?
And you
So
got to have a party every week.
exactly, like 3 or 4 times a week, and then
Yeah.
COVID hit. You never be able to do that anyways. But I didn't want to do that. I'm not a salesperson. If someone had said to me, "I'm sorry, I'm broke. I've got no money. I can't buy that," then I'd say, "Okay, I understand. I've
Yeah.
been there." So then, anyways, I started looking online, and I didn't have a clue. I didn't think I was looking for a business. I was just looking for a way to make money. I knew people that had worked online. They didn't make big money, but they had worked online for years. And I thought, I can do that. So, anyways, Mike and Darren's ad came across my page every day. And I had prayed so hard, Lord, give me something that I can do. Like I can do, right? Because I'm not tech savvy. So I thought, give me something that I can do. So, anyways, I searched, and their ad kept coming across my page, and was like, boom, I'm sending you this. Look at it. So finally, I looked at it, and I went and I watched the information session. I registered on their webpage with, my name and email address, and then I go and I look at the webinar. And I knew, being an accountant, I seen the figures, and I knew it was going to work. I didn't have a clue how it was going to work or how long it was going to take. I just knew that it wasn't going to be quick, right? I knew it wasn't going to be quick because it was a sustainable business. And there was so much that I loved about what I hear. I heard we had training. They taught us step by step what to do. I heard that, you get a mentor and a coach when you join the business. And I thought, wow, like as long as they don't get too, antsy with me, because I'm sometimes maybe a slower learner than most. But I thought, how can a person fail if they follow the process? And then they got talking about social media and Facebook. And I thought, oh my gosh, here I am. There I go. Like, what am I going to do? I don't even know how to put a picture on Facebook. Like, that was something. I used to work in my job 12 to 14 hours a day on a computer doing income tax programs, database programs, accounting programs. But at the end of the day, I didn't want to learn anything else. I just wanted to close my computer and go watch the boob tube, right? I didn't want to do anything else. So anyways, thank God I had a grandson, and he showed me how to put a picture on Facebook. So he come over Sunday, because they come over for Sunday dinner after church and stuff. And he was showing me all this, and I'm taking notes. And he's telling me what to do. And he said, Grandma, you can learn anything on your computer if you Google it. You just have to Google it. I said, okay, what's Google, right? So he showed me, and I'm making all these notes. So anyways, we go have our dinner, and we spend the evening together, and they go home, and I'm right back into my computer. First thing, I'm going to put a picture on Facebook, another one, because he showed me how to put one. So anyways, I go in, and I'm looking at my notes, and I'm saying, what is that? What is that? Like, I didn't even know what I had written. I didn't have a clue what I had written. So I thought, Google. I can Google. So I typed in Google, how do I put a picture on Facebook? ? And I hit enter. And now this is an example of doing something the exact same way and expecting different results. Well, that doesn't work, right? But anyways, I typed the question in, and all this stuff come up. So I click on it, and it was about jewelry. It was about, herbs. It was about anything but what I asked the question about. And I thought, this isn't right. So anyways, I would close it out, try it again. And I did the same thing, asking the same question, getting these same YouTube things. And I didn't know what they were. So I went to bed. So the next day I get up, and what did I do? Same thing. Same question, getting the same videos. Like, I'm saying, what is this stuff? Like, that's got nothing to do with putting a picture on Facebook. So I waited till my grandson got out of school that afternoon, and I called him. And I said, Casey, honey, this just is not working for Grandma. Like, it's not working. He said, well, Grandma, what are you doing? So I told him about putting the question in, ? And he said, yeah, that's right. What are you seeing? And I said, this YouTube stuff, whatever that is, come up. And I said, I turn it on. They're talking about motor vehicles. They're talking about jewelry. They're talking about health food stuff. It's got nothing to do. And he said, Grandma, just slow down. He said, look at the bottom of your screen, your bottom right corner. It will say skip ad. Click on that skip ad. I said, well, I didn't know that was an ad. So, anyways, that's the result. Exact same thing and expecting different results. But, and a lot of people think that when it comes to social media and those things, that we have common sense when it comes to this stuff. Well, I didn't. I had no common sense whatsoever when it came to learning social media. So I needed somebody to say, this is what you have to do. But now our training is so good, it tells you exactly. Now skip ad, and all that. It's so good. But that was just one struggle. Then at the time, I was taking chemo and radiation treatments. And I got involved in the business in February. And in March, the doctor told me to go home and get my affairs in order, that my treatments weren't working. There was no more they could do. So I said, whoa, that's end of that conversation, because I rebuked that. I'm living to be 120. I got too much to do. You're not talking that over my life. So anyways, go home and the kids find out and they're boo-hooing and crying. How much time do you have? And I said, I got like 60 more years because I'm going to live to be 120, and they're getting mad at me saying, Mom, you got to be realistic here. This is real life. And I said, well, I'm telling you, I am going to live, So anyways, I just started, drinking lots of water and taking my, my supplement things. And I just started drowning myself in that. And every month I had to go for tests and it kept getting better. So anyways, I was in a restaurant in Red Deer one day, and this couple was sitting over and they're talking the next table over, and there was like 4 people, and they're talking about this woman saying, my friend had terminal cancer and she went to Mexico and had surgery, and now she's cancer free. So I'm like, excuse me, but can you tell me, could you give me that information, and she said sure. She got right on the phone, called her friend, got me the information. I went home, called the doctor in Mexico. Within 6 days, I was in Mexico in surgery. I had 5 surgeries. I come back and I took every medication I owned and chucked it. I chucked it. And I just started drinking more water and taking more supplements. And today I'm cancer free. But
Yay.
after I get better, I was in an accident, like a severe accident, and they didn't expect me to live. I had crushed my ribs, broke off at the spine and were crushed, and they went through every organ. I totally crushed my clavicle and the bones that connect my arm on. So I've had a few surgeries where, they attached it, but it works 100%, works, don't have an ache or a pain or anything. And I survived that. And I never missed a mastermind. Going through all of this process, I never missed a mastermind. I never missed a webinar. I never missed any of that ever. So the first year I had a lot of struggles, but I had in my mind that I was going to build this business, and that it didn't matter what my mountain was that I had to climb to get over it. This business was going to work for me. And yeah, it was a little slow, for me, but I mean, I had a few struggles, but I wasn't giving up no matter what. I was not giving up, because giving up is an excuse for not doing it. And that's the only way to fail in this business, is to quit and not doing it. And that's just an excuse. So anyways, and then in January, my mom passed away from COVID, and I couldn't, not this January, last year, and I couldn't get home to be with the family or anything. And then in December 2020, my husband decided to move on to somebody else after 40 years. So I've had a few struggles, but I still have never missed a mastermind. I've never missed a training. I still come on here and do my business, and it's just excuses, because you know what? This business supports me. Otherwise, I'd have to live with one of my children, because Canada Pension and OAS just does not give you enough money to support yourself. So whoever come up with the word golden years, I'd like to have them by the, because they couldn't have been in their, retirement age. But you know what? It doesn't matter what age you are in this business. People my age need to be doing this. Like, why would I want to live in Alberta, Canada, in that cold weather when I'm living in beautiful, sunshiny Mexico, right?
I'm,
And I can do that because of this business.
I
Right?
am so jealous that out your window right now is a palm tree. I'm telling you, that is like my goal in life is to see a real palm tree, as
But you will.
real as
Hey,
it is.
I have extra bedrooms, so you can come and visit me.
I
You
will.
just got to get
Yeah.
One day I will drive to Mexico. I'm scared to fly, but I will drive there one day.
You realize there's more accidents driving than there are on airplanes.
I've been told that so many times. I still
so
freak
true.
out getting on a plane.
I like flying.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
So how long have you been in Mexico, Debra? Like at what point in your journey did you decide Mexico was where you were going to be?
Well, in September of 2018, actually part of September, part of October 2018, we were staying in a camper. We were hunting about 200 kilometers back in the bush, Fort McMurray, and hunting. And I said, I will go because my son was home from Bermuda. He hunts, my daughter hunts. And I said, I'll go if you make sure I have cell service because I can work off my cell phone, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can connect my computer to it. So anyways, they found a place that I had one bar. And I said, I don't know, I'll try one night. I worked for a month there with my phone and my computer on one bar of cell service and built this business and watched my webinars and my masterminds. And that was my first high 5-figure month.
Yeah.
And it was like, I kept adding up my pay stubs and adding them up. And my daughter said, Mom, you're an accountant. You're going to get the same number 75 times after you've done it compared to the first time you did it. Same thing. So I said, that's it. That's it. This is more money than I earned in a year.
Yeah.
I am going to move to Mexico. And they said, oh, you're crazy. And I said, no, I'm moving to Mexico. That's something I've always wanted to do. I'm going. So came, got a rented a place for a year. And then the next year when it was time to give up my contract, I thought another year. So I've done it.
Still there.
I'm still here, and now I'm a temporary resident. So
that's so
I
exciting.
don't have any days and leave. I can stay as long as I want, go back to Canada as long as I want, come back here as long as I want.
Wow.
Yeah. So anyways, but I'd never been able to do that with this business. Like I say, I would have been living on Canada pension and OAS and a small pension that wouldn't buy groceries for a week. Yeah. And I wouldn't have been able to do it. And I would have had to be a burden on my children, and they would have had my bills. They would have had to support me for me to pay my bills. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like it's just, and we had a great savings account prior to me being laid off, but then we had a family situation happen, and you do what you have to do for your family, for your children, right? Yeah. And your grandchildren. So it took every penny of our savings to rectify that situation. But it was a court deal and we won. Yeah. So, I mean, it was worth every penny of it. But it was just bad timing, getting laid off and savings account left, right? Yeah.
Still puts a lot of added stress on somebody. And, your savings is there because, well, for one, you need to live off of it at some point, but for two, for those unexpected. But when the unexpected that comes in is more than you've got saved.
Yeah. Exactly.
What do you do?
It hurts people, right? Yeah. But you know what? I'm a survivor. I've been a survivor all my life. I've been a survivor. We raised 6 children on $30,000 a year back in New Brunswick, Canada. Like, you think about that now and it's like, oh my goodness,
it is not possible on $30,000 a year now.
Not anywhere. Well, it really wasn't then. We got by, but there was no personal life, there was no entertainment life. Everything was kids, school and kids, sports, right? And that was it. No vacations, there was no nothing. $30,000 a year even back then. But it's for me to hear people with excuses, they're just excuses, because no matter what, I could have gave up so many times in this business, but I knew the minute I dedicated myself to this, I wasn't just going to put 100% in. I was putting 120% in because I was going to build this business. So you know what?
You were going to live to 120. It's the magic number.
I'm still going to be doing it, right? I'm still going to be doing this business, driving my car and driving all over Mexico, and I'm still going to be doing it.
I love it.
Yeah, it's really exciting to follow your page too, because I think about you often and I see you in our community posting and stuff like that. But I always hop on your page. I have it on here, New Beginnings with Debs, and I really enjoy following you and living vicariously through you, because
she's so fun. Yeah, so fun.
That is our dream, is to travel and run our business while we travel the world, and explore that with our children and grandchildren beside us too. If they want to join us, we want to be able to have the means where they can come too if they want.
Exactly. We see now, well, I mean, the pandemic really did a damage to people, but I think it's coming back, that people's going to be able to travel again and things. And for my family, having 6 kids and then with their families, I have a home here. Like all they got to do is get their air flight. Before, for them to come to Mexico, it would have cost a lot of money to stay in a resort, or stay in an Airbnb and buy your groceries, buy your food in restaurants and things. And although it's really cheap to eat out here, like really cheap, less than $5 to go for a meal.
And you have a little community there too of other with other business owners. There's other business owners there with you as well.
A lot of other business owners here. Yes.
Yeah.
I've had couples come to visit and they just never left. They got their own places and stayed, right?
That's so exciting.
It is. It is exciting. And I attend down here, and I have a great church family. So I'm never bored. Someone said, "Oh, you must be really bored. It's the first time you've ever lived alone." I said, "I've never been more content." And, in all my life, I've never been so content. And I have my 2 little chihuahuas and a cat. And my cat thinks it's a dog, and I take them all for walks. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's awesome. And you can do all that. But you know what? You can't afford to have a rent of your own living in Canada. Like, what's the purpose? Why do you work in life and have to end your life? And that's what people do.
Well, and right now with everything, inflation and everything's gone up. We just got a power bill that was double for 1 month, double what it was every other month of our lives here. And that one power bill is equal to more than one mortgage payment.
Yeah, and you know what? My power bill last month, and I run my air conditioner a lot because I still like it cool, right?
Yeah.
And my electrical bill last month was $18.21 Canadian.
Wow.
$18.
So I might move to Mexico.
You can't even have a meal out in the restaurant in Canada for that.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, and I can go out for dinner and for 100 pesos, which is $5.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
That's crazy.
So it's 6 something Canadian. But I mean, and for $12 Canadian, you can get a steak dinner.
Wow.
Or seafood dinner. Like it's just, it's actually cheaper to eat out than it is to buy groceries.
Oh, wow.
But although
who wants to cook in that heat anyway?
Right?
I buy my meat from a local meat man, and I got 2 huge chicken breasts that did me 3 meals each chicken breast because they were huge. I swear it was a turkey. It was the biggest chicken breast I seen. And then 3 pieces of chicken with the breast, or with the leg and the thigh, and it had 4 steaks with it, and half a kilogram of hamburger, and it was 320 pesos, which would be $21 and change.
It's like $60 for a roast now.
I know.
I'm in the wrong country, Jennifer.
Yeah, I'm showing Kelsey this and stuff, and she's saying, "Oh my gosh, like I paid that much for a big thing, package of hamburger,
Yeah.
right?"
Yeah.
You might
You know
have a
what?
whole bunch of new neighbors, Deborah, very soon.
Yeah. If I bring my 6 kids down, I could definitely live off of 30,000 a year.
Oh my gosh, and you cannot believe how many people are moving here. Like I just met, like at church on Sunday, there was 3 different couples from Quebec, and they're not
Wow.
going back. They're
Yeah.
working with a lawyer down here so they don't have to go back. They're staying.
Yeah.
And then there's, I met other couples through different Bible studies and things that are here with their children. And the
Yeah.
schooling system, they love the schooling system here better. Plus, the
Yeah.
kids are all becoming, bilingual, both Spanish and English, right? But,
Yeah.
we have everything. Some of the schools are English.
That's
Yeah.
The
crazy.
church I go to is English. Like, they have a Spanish service too. But,
Yeah.
there's just so much to do here, and it's so beautiful.
Yeah. It's so nice that, the golden years for you are
Yes,
actually now the golden years, and you get to live a life
exactly.
like that. Like, it's incredible that you had the opportunity and the courage, especially with all you've been through, to take that time and to take that risk and to take that chance and stay plugged in and look at wow. Like, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know.
I,
And
it's
all because
crazy.
I say it's all because of God. I give God the glory for everything that happens in my
Yeah.
life because, I wasn't always a Christian, and but the good things that happen, you got to give thanks to God for that, bringing me to this business. Because you know what? Since that day that I clicked on that ad of Mike and Darren's and I registered on that webpage, I have yet to this day to see their ad. I have never seen their ad since.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a warm market. I bought in, I signed into the webinar, and then I bought into the community because there is a small fee, but it's refundable if you don't decide not to do
That's
it.
right.
But when I came in, it was with Wade and Karen is actually joining us now. She says, "Great to see you, Debra."
Hi,
Um,
Karen.
and I came in, and they had a bit of challenge within not our community, but a previous community. And it was shortly after they actually joined back into this community that I actually decided to jump in. And I had been following them for 9 months. Absolutely everything in life is for a reason. I am
That's
hands
right.
down a firm believer that, even if it doesn't work out, it's for a reason. But
Exactly.
yeah, I came in and I was there first, and I'm not going anywhere ever.
No, and me either. Me either.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the struggles, and you know what? We're always going to have struggles in life, and people can blame it on whatever they want. It's just an excuse to not do something.
Yeah.
Because I put my mind to building this business. I was going to do it no matter what.
Yeah.
And now, when there's a struggle, that's just an everyday
It's
life
just
thing, right?
it's just a stepping stone.
Exactly.
Yeah. I
And
know.
the wonderful thing that you being a part of this business community and being a business owner is all the lives that you get to watch transform into something so amazing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when you see those people reaching their milestones and their goals that they're setting for themselves, like I was just thinking as you were talking when you said you always wanted to live in Mexico. But when you were thinking that thought years ago, you didn't know how you were going to get there, and you left it into God's hands, and He just provided the way for you to get there.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's when I watch these people, these single or not single moms, parents with children of school age children, and they're doing this business and they're home with their kids, like the Obsios, I just love it. They just melt me. There was a couple that come into the business, built this to a profitable level, then bought a home, Like they're doing everything that I always wanted to do, but I did everything backwards, right? They bought a home and then they had their first child. And they are with that child every step of the way. They heard every little murmur first. It didn't come from a babysitter. They saw, the first rollover, the first crawl, like they're seeing it all. How blessed is that? I worked. There was no maternity leave when I was, becoming a mom, and I would have a baby on a Friday and back to work on Monday, right? Because there was no maternity leave. And you had to take your kid with you, right? So it was like, oh my goodness, it was crazy. And today, people don't have to do that. They can be home with their children. And, after I moved to Fort McMurray in 2006, I don't know where I got these books, but I found these books and I gave them all to my 6 children. And it was about their childhood, the good, the bad, the ugly, what they would change, what they wouldn't change, what they liked about their mother, what they didn't like, about everything, their siblings. It was a wonderful book. But after I gave it to them, I thought, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I don't want to know these things, right? So I said to them, I want you to be honest. I don't want you to think about hurting my feelings. I want you to be honest. And don't give it back quickly. Do a lot of thought in it. But maybe it will help you with raising your children and not make the mistakes that I made, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, my youngest daughter gave it back within 3 months. And I thought, oh my gosh, she hates me. I know she hates me. Like, I can't imagine what's in this book. Well, just starting it out, it melts your heart. The good. And the only thing she said she would have changed in her childhood was she wished her mother had been home more, because I worked all the time. I will never get that back as long as I live.
Yeah. I, like you, I have 6 kids at home. My oldest is 19. My youngest is 18 months right now. And then I have a bonus daughter, my stepdaughter. She is 24. And, same thing. When I ask my kids what they want more of, they don't want more stuff. They don't want more money. They don't want more. They just want time.
Yes.
And that's, one of my favorite quotes recently has been, children spell love, Time.
Yeah. Exactly.
And if it wasn't for the confidence that this business gave me, the opportunity that I came across with this business, I wouldn't be homeschooling my kids today. I would still be like you, Debra, sitting on a computer 12 to 14 hours a day. I was working in insurance, and I wouldn't be here. And if I was here, I'd be bringing work home just to try to stay on top of it. And that Time would be gone.
Yeah.
There was never enough of it. And then when you had a day off, it was, let's do this and this and this and this. But it wasn't, fun. It was groceries and, running your errands and appointments, and because you had no time during the week to do those things.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And this business can give the opportunity. And that's what I said. It doesn't matter what education level you're at. It doesn't matter what country in the world you live. It doesn't matter how many children you have. It doesn't matter, what nationality you are. Anybody can do this business as long as you're 18 years of age, right? Yeah. And you can learn how to turn on a video and read. You do have to be able to read, right? Yeah. So watch a video. You can do this business.
Yeah.
And follow simple instructions.
Right?
Yeah. If you are coachable, we want you.
That's right. That's right. And that's what I say to people. I've seen people come into the business and do nothing. Yeah. And then they complain that it doesn't work for them. And I said, well, did you show up yesterday on your computer? Oh, no, I didn't have time yesterday. And I said, well, did you show up the day before and work on your computer? Well, no, I had to do this with the kids and that. And I said, okay, here's the thing. We can make more money than any franchise out there, but it doesn't happen quickly, and we have to build our business. So I use this example a lot. If you go out and buy a $2 million McDonald's franchise, and you have it for a week, and you and your husband are not going to see each other because one of you have to be there 24/7, right? One of you. Yeah. And until you get it up and running, which means the first 5 years at least, you're not going to see each other. And you decide today, Oh, the kids got something to do. No, I don't think I'll go in today. So you don't open your doors. Or you go in and say, oh, I don't think I'll turn the fryers on today. So there's no burgers being made. How much money are you going to have, and how long is your business going to work?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? It's a business. It's not a hobby. And I
Yeah.
said, hobbies are when you have your grandmother makes mitts, makes a pair of mitts. Then she goes to the markets and sells them for $5. Well, guaranteed the yarn probably cost her $5, and it took her 2 to 3 hours to knit them.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she's selling them for $5.
Yeah.
That's a hobby.
Yeah.
You don't make money at a hobby. You do something you like doing to fill your time. That's a hobby. But don't ever expect to make money from a hobby. So you can either come into this and treat it like a business, or you can come in and treat it like a hobby. But you can't complain that you're not making money as a business if you're working it as a hobby.
Yeah.
100%.
I know. When you first join this business, it really is, you hear the active versus the passive income all the time. And when you
Yes.
first come in, and as you're building your foundation and you're building your business, you need to realize that this is an active income opportunity in the beginning.
Yeah.
But the long-term benefits, I mean, I could work the next 30 years at a job and still be nowhere further than I would be today.
Exactly.
But when I come into this business, I put in 5 years, and then 10 years down the road, it's passive.
Exactly.
So
And
I just saved myself 20 years of heartache and stress and work and worry and, worrying paycheck to paycheck and trying to figure out do I pay the power or do I buy groceries? I saved 20 years of that.
That's how I survived all my life.
Yeah.
And like now, God forbid if something should happen to me, which is not, because like I say, I'm living to be 120 and I'm going to have my mind and health. And anyways, if something should happen to me today, my business is willed to my youngest daughter. And she could step into this business and live off the money I have coming in every month from it. Or she could step into it and build it twice as big and better than I ever did.
I love that option is there. I love it.
Me too.
And you don't just have to will it to one child. We have ways in our business that are, my 18 or 19-year-old is part of our business.
Yes.
And, my 16-year-old wants to be part of the business. My kids, Jennifer's, kids, Felix and my son get along really well. And they're already talking about the business and how they can create their own and do their own entrepreneurial things.
Exactly. I have 2 of my 6 children in the business.
Yeah.
But if they want to do it, they got to do it the same as everybody else. They got to go watch that information session and make their own mind up. I will never convince them to, right? That's their decision. But anyways, and one of my daughters said, why would I build the business? I'm going to get all your money anyways when you die. And I said, well, you'll probably be gone before.
You know what? I'm going to will it to your brother now.
Right? But and like I say, 5 years ago, I would have had to move in with my children, been a burden to them, and they would have had to help me pay my bills.
Yeah.
Because as long as I'm breathing, I got to pay those bills.
Yeah.
Right?
They don't go anywhere.
They don't go.
I had this conversation with my grandmother a couple months, well, it was sometime last year. And my grandma's 83 and my grandfather's 87, and my grandpa still works. And she said, I never realized. She's like, we got a raise on our pension. And I was like, oh, did you? That's really exciting. She's like, yeah, $16. And I was like, oh my Lanta, like,
yeah,
that's torture. You work so hard all your life from a very young age. You get to an age that you just want to relax a bit, and you still have to work because you can't survive. Yep.
Right? Yeah. These are supposed to be our golden years after we've worked all our lives and supported a family and, gave up going on vacation and gave up this and that for your kids. And all of us that are parents know we give up everything for our children, right? And these golden years that they call golden years, if you don't have the money, and very few companies have pensions anymore, very few have pensions. And then The bigger companies where you would have a good pension will lay you off before it's time to retire, and then they don't have to pay that big pension.
Yeah.
Right? You'll get a percentage of it.
Or you work so hard and you don't even like, for me, my dad passed away 1 month before his 50th birthday. My father-in-law, he passed away in his early 50s. My sister passed away when she was 34, and my daughter's dad was 18 when he passed, or 19 when he passed. So some people work really, really hard, and then life is gone. And those memories that we have as children are of our family, like our parents working all the time. And yes, we have memories of them, but most of that time was spent away from the home, not with the family.
Exactly.
So that is one of the biggest driving forces for my husband and I is time. Time with our children, with our grandchildren, and with one another.
Yep. And we have that vehicle for the single moms. We have it for the single people. We have it for truck drivers. We have it for principals. We have it for doctors. We have it for lawyers. You name it. A lot of the medical field is coming into our business because that's got to be the most stressful job there is out there right now. But we have a profession. There is too. We have people that have never worked. We have people that, are laborers. We have people that are so high. We have engineers, right?
Yeah.
We have civil engineers. We have mechanical engineers. You name it. You just go through your group and see what the profession of these people were, and it blows your mind.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And some of them make good money in their profession, but it's still not enough at the end of the day. I know for me, on the opposite end, it's so I always think of course, what I want to leave my children, how I want to take care of them. And Karen can relate. If something happens, I want to be able to just drop everything and go, no questions asked. I want to be able to send them a check. But at the same time, my parents and my in-laws and we've got other family that my aunt and uncle have no children, and so in my mind I'm thinking, okay, so I'm the closest thing to a child that they have. Am I in a position to take care of them and then take care of these ones and then take care of these ones on top of taking care of my own children? And so this business takes so much of that worry off, because in the future, I know that I'm going to be able to be here when needed.
And you know what? Stress causes illness.
Yeah.
And when you don't have the stress, the illness is gone.
Yeah.
So that people my age and older can really enjoy retirement because they can afford to enjoy their life. They can afford to go here, go there, and do dreams they've always wanted to do, but never could, right?
It's so true. And we see it every single day, in the people that we meet, in our own family members, the people that we talk to. And it's such a small world, being in this community and meeting people every single day. It is amazing how many people know people that like that are already in your circle. It's like, well, why didn't you tell me about this? Well, and you're like, well, here's a business card, check it out, and you do your own homework for it. That's how I had to do it. So it's the same steps for you.
Say it. But people cannot judge it until they check it out and see it's for them. And I tell people, you know what? If it's not for you, that's okay. I'm going to love you anyways. It doesn't make any difference.
Exactly.
But if it is for you and you're procrastinating, think of where you are today, where you'll be tomorrow, and where you're going to be 5 years. If you're still procrastinating, look at the difference in me from when I started to 5 years down the road.
Yeah.
Right? People, you just want to shake some of them, right? Check it out.
I know.
It's so true.
And like Karen said, so many people are waiting for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or waiting for retirement. And why, when you, like my husband is 40 whatever this year. And he has such a bad back, and his health isn't the greatest. Another 20 years when he can actually retire, he might not be able to enjoy life.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
like, he can barely get around some days. And when you get to 60, 65, 70, I mean, we're not young at that point.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
right.
I
That's how
already
it
have
works.
back pain.
Right?
That's how it was for Joel, bouncing in the truck up and down the roads all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
sitting, being a truck driver for over 20 years, sitting on that seat, bouncing all over every type of road. You know, and also too, like when he was in the logging industry for a while, you know, he would work extremely hard for about 8 months of the year, and then those other months we lived off of our savings, and it was a continuous cycle. We never got ahead, you know. And now we're able to, you know, put those pieces into place for us to actually, you know, start building our savings again, because we're not depleting out of our savings all the time and keeping that. It was like a hamster wheel that we were running on continuously and never moving forward.
Yeah. And you know what? If people don't get out of their comfort zone, they're never
Yeah.
going to make a change in their life. They're going
100.
to sit on their couch and they're going to worry about how they're going to pay their electrical bill this month. Let me
Yeah.
see. I'll take this much for this and I'll pay so much on this so that it'll keep them off my back. And then I'll pay a little bit on that. And then next month I'll pay this on. Like, you're steadily
Yeah.
stressing on how I did
Mhm.
that for
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Years I did that. How am I going to pay this? And
Yeah.
worry. And you know what? Why people think, I had a lady say to me one day, well, it's money, having lots of money, being rich is really evil. And I said, no, it's not. It's what you do with your money, whether it's evil or not. If I was earning all this money and I'm going to bars and buying people alcohol and, you know, doing everything you shouldn't be doing, then that's evil.
Yeah.
I think the worst feeling I have ever had, and it takes so long to get over it, is the anxiety when you go to swipe your card to get the groceries.
Yes, not knowing
Coming
if there's
from
to pay.
Yeah, coming from somebody, we have been through our struggles. We have had, you know, no food, no money for food. We were hitting up community events because there was free food. And swiping the card, even still now, when I know there's money in there, I am double checking all the
Yeah.
time, because it's probably the biggest stress that I've ever had
Yeah.
was
And
swiping my
hard.
card at the till.
It's hard to get out of those habits. I
Yeah.
remember my saying to me one day, I said, I'm going into the secondhand store. I was in Red Deer. I'm going into the secondhand store. And she said, no, you're not, Mom. I said, yes, I am. And she said, why would you go in there and shop there now? You don't have to. And I said, you can get designer clothing in there, like for really
Yes, you
dirt
can.
cheap. And people
Yes, you
probably
can.
once. Why would I go pay all that money? She said, I don't understand you. She said, you've got to get out of that poor mentality. And I said, well, you know what? I had to struggle all my life and buy clothes and things at places like that for you kids, right? And she
It
said,
keeps you
exactly. It's
humble.
why I don't want to do it anymore. But
Yeah.
you know, and then she gave me the guilt trip. Well, you know, Mom, there's other people that don't have as much money as you have right now, and that they could probably use those clothes. I said, don't even lay that one on me, right? Like, don't even lay that one on me. But you know, I still am
Yeah.
thrifty when it comes to my money.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And you know, I am the same way when
Yeah.
there's, you know, I mean, if there's a good sale, I am there.
Yeah, me
But
too. I love sales. That's why I'm
that's
at College
it's
State,
fun
because
though too.
sales in there.
It's fun to go into places like that and shop is fun, because you actually are looking for something that you want. You don't
Yeah,
just see that shiny object and grab it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You're
exactly,
actually taking the time to look through whatever's in that store to find something
exactly.
that's like meaningful and purposeful. It's not
Yeah,
just to buy something.
exactly, exactly, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we have been on almost an hour. Deborah,
Oh
I
my
think you're
God.
our longest so far. We usually try to go about a half an hour, but
Well, that's me. I apologize. I'm a
no,
talker.
no,
I don't know when to
no.
stop.
We could go on forever. Jennifer and I get off when we're live, and we still talk for another hour or two sometimes. So you don't, no apologies at all. But I have one question that I try to ask everybody that comes on with us, and I was just for everybody out there that's feeling stuck right now, whether it's in work or personal, whatever it is in their life, anybody feeling stuck and not knowing which direction to go, what would your advice to them be?
Oh, I love that question. Because you know what? Everybody needs to watch that 90-minute information session. That's all they need to do. Just watch that 90-minute information session and then decide if it's something you want to know more about. If you want to know more about it, you just follow the process. And the thing of it is, this is a way for people to change their life. So if somebody wants a change in their life, but you know what? People just aren't afraid of change. They're also afraid of success.
Yeah.
So you know what? But if they want a real good change in their life, this could be their answer. This could be it. But they will never know unless they watch that 90 information session. So I just tell people, just get off the fence. All you're going to do sitting on the fence is get splinters for one thing, and you're not going nowhere because that post does not move. It's there. It's solid. You're not going anywhere. You can sit on that fence. You're not moving forward. You're not moving backwards or sideways. You're sitting in one spot.
Yeah.
Nobody can make a change in their life sitting in one spot. So jump off that fence and go with this running. Check out that information session and see if it's for you. And if it's not for you, then we'll love you anyways. It doesn't matter. But need to check it out. Really.
Yeah. And we're all real people. I mean, Debra is who Debra is in person. Jennifer and I mean, if you ever meet me, I mean, we're the same people.
Yeah.
You're
such a breath. You're such a breath of fresh air. I've really enjoyed this conversation with you today, Debra.
Thank you. I did too.
I was so excited.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness. I have been excited for guests, but I follow your, I just love you, Debra.
Well, I love everybody in this business. I would never have met them. And I remember meeting Jennifer and them in Red Deer. Like, we had such a turnout. We had one of the best turnouts in all back then, right? It was so awesome. And I was looking so forward to the next year, but of course, COVID did a damper on that one.
Yeah.
Next year or this year?
Next year. I can't wait. Next year.
Yeah. We'll be there.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Well, Debra, we hope you have a wonderful weekend. Can you show me a palm tree one more time? Look, everyone, there's palm trees. I love it. Beautiful.
They're everywhere.
I love it.
I have one right in my yard at the house.
Oh, that'll be me one day. I know where I'm living now. I'm moving to Mexico. I'm going to be Debra's neighbor. So I'll see you from Mexico next week. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. And Debra, thank you so much for coming on with us again. And we'll have another guest same time next week.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
God bless.